Hey, I'm back, and it's time to have a lesson with Chess Cruncher TV. Well, we're gonna go over a game between Topalov, who is white, and uh, Avachok, who is black. I'm probably not pronouncing his name. I'm just gonna do white and black. Okay. All right. So what happened is E4, E6. They're going into the French, the Steinitz variation, and the actually F4 is one of the most scariest lines for white. I mean for black. So it's got to be careful with that. And that's how they're playing is correct. And the reason he played A6 was to stop the knight from jumping in here. Because if the knight can get in here, then R could get in here. They could trade off. It costs some damage. So, and then to stop his knight from coming in, he played A3 as well. So black takes, white takes, and they're getting ready to castle. See, he takes. See, the whole thing is we're coming into a close game. So you want to trade off your knights for your, you want to trade off a bishop for a knight, and so that you can come down to the one only having a knight with your opponent having a bishop. Remember, close games, knights rule. Open games, bishops rule. Takes, and you don't want to take back yet. You want to reroute your knight. And when he takes bishop. What's happening is he wants to stop black. The reason he, oops, shoot. Sorry about that. Slipping my thing. Okay. The reason he plays that is to stop the knight from coming in here. Because otherwise, what would happen is the knight could slip right on in here, cause some problems here, and it would be really nicely placed. So the bishop attacks the knight. Bishop wants to trade itself off for that knight at the right moment, so that it'll come down to bishop versus knight, which the imbalance is that. And so white actually obliges black to trade the way he wants to. So got to be careful when you do what your opponent wants. You don't want to react. Yes, the argument could be made that double pawns here are a weakness, and the imbalance is that all white has to do is open up the position and he's got a good bishop. Yes, but for the moment being, in a close game, this piece right here is superior. All it needs to do is go here, here, and there, and it's at its most optimum spot. And so that's exactly what actually happens. I know what we're thinking. Why didn't he play here? You're thinking that. The reason is because of check. Because what would happen is the bishop would be lost to check. It's like if this happened, check, and there's no way to. You could play here, I guess, but then you can't take because of that there. So you got to be very careful why he didn't play that and played his rook up. Now the queen has to move. Check. And now at this point, if black could trade his queen off and get into an end game with a knight versus bishop, this is winning for black. So he takes. It's very odd how white just gave black a pawn on here, but because White's thinking, what if I play, takes there? Does that mean anything? They both have pawn islands. White has one thing that black doesn't have, and it's pawns. It has two connected pawns, which they protect each other. Black has two pawn islands as well, but he's got an isolated pawn, which can't be protected with a piece. So if everything can get traded off, but let's just say a pawn, and white has a pawn somewhere, this pawn right here is a weakness. If white can get to it and start eating and hammering on it and getting it. So black comes and plays here. White has to do that, otherwise he'll lose a pawn. So now the rook comes down attacking the bishop, also preparing to push, and as well take. Actually can't take yet because of the back rook mate threat. So he takes there, and now they're starting to, if you notice, it's starting to come down to how many pawn islands does white have? They have 3. 1, 2, and 3. Black has 1, 2, and 3, but his pawns are better connected. Yes, this is somewhat doubled, but you can play g6 and instantly connect them. These are two isolated pawns, which is a huge weakness for white at this moment. Black's pieces are more active, and they're ready to go for the takedown. And now in comes the knight, and it's coming down. Takes. You have to be, strong-willed to sometimes play these type of moves. And black sees that he has enough time to actually get his rook to queen. And so what white has to do is waste a move playing g1. The rook comes down to g1. The rook comes down to e1, black's rook. And now they're one move away from queening. And there's no way that white can actually stop the queening from happening. He would take there, and now what could happen is a check here. There could be a check here, and if the king tries to come up, you can actually take here. King takes, and then takes, and now you'd be a. Let's just see what he plays. Check there. We'll see. Check. At this point, white resigned because there's no way in the world that he's going to stop this from doing anything. Let's just say that, well, let's say for the sake being that he plays here, I'll show you. All right, check there, comes up. And now, but the only issue is you have a skewer here, so you gotta be very careful. Even though that looks winning, you have to be super duper careful. You have to analyze the whole situation. So at this point, more black would probably play here because it's attacking the bishop. So then what would happen is you can't play there because of knight takes or rook takes. So the bishop would have to come and play here because of staying in contact with the d square. And then at this point, it's a potential to actually go rook a here, because then queen will happen, bishop takes. So even if there's a check, we'll just say comes over there. Now this type of, okay, there, and Let's see, what could white do? Maybe push. Let's see there. Okay, if you just there. So at this point, check. Let's see here. And you can't take because of that. So yeah, he was right to resign at this point. This is a really interesting idea. So I wanted to show you the difference between how you can take a knight, bishop knight imbalance, and make it a win. You have to have what plan you're going to be going down. See, plans are very important because it's better to have a good plan, a bad plan, than to have no plan at all. Because a plan means that you know where you're going. But remember, have a good plan. That's just a phrase. So, like, black had a plan. Black back. Where is that? Let's see. Back. Okay, 1 second. When he let his bishop get taken here, black had a plan to trade down to a knight and bishop with these rooks. That was his idea, to get these pieces, trade off the queens, and then win the game. And black did that with style. Okay, with that, we're gonna play a chess game. Let's see what we got here. Let's play an 1800. Let's get some warmed up here. Let's give this guy some London. He's doing the French. Now we gotta develop and get our pieces active. Let's get some Harry. Get some Harry. We don't want to bring our queen up here and trade off, because that's what our opponent would love to do, is to trade off. No sirree, we are not going to do that. No. Let's see, how do we want to play this? I'm going to bring my knight in. We'll allow the knight to take. Remember, we need to keep the position closed. Let's see. Okay. Our plan, we need to get a plan to get our pieces rolling. So let's see if we can get some let's see, because we might need to retreat back just to keep a hold of this pawn here. Got to be careful though, because if I castle now, the bishop will come here and wreak some havoc. So let's see, what can we do here? Let's bring our knight in. Let's play how we played. Let's bring that knight in. Let's show him the worth of the knight. How worthy the knight is to be there. Let's show him. I'm actually gonna play ooh, interesting. So he plays that there. Sweet. Okay. Let's go after his weak spot. His underbelly. So he's reacting to our threats. That's what we like to see. Okay. Huh. Let's see. That gave up that diagonal, so trying to think, is there any way we can infiltrate into his position? Because I have an excellent outpost. I don't want to mess with my outpost at this moment. Huh. Oh yeah, after this game, put in if you'd like to play with me. I am going to castle because I want to push this pawn up the board. The only way to allot that is to have the rook here. And there's really no real problem of keeping my king in the center. Harry's protected. Nothing's going to happen to Harry for a while. want to push, but if I push, takes, queen takes. So I'm going to have to, for the moment being, play bishop here, then push. I want to pry the center open right as quick as can be. Now he's in a world of hurt. Because we're castled. Yes, it kind of looks awkward how we're positioned, true. But remember, we have the attack. We have all the attack. Okay. Yeah, he's hurting real bad. Our opponent doesn't know what to do at this moment. So if anybody wants to play, put into the chat over here, and we'll play. Nice. Check. Now we're up one pawn. I'm not retreat back. I'm actually getting prepared for you. Let's check. can't let him infiltrate into our position one bit. We can't let this happen. So I'm going to have to be very careful on where I place my rooks. I want to get a check along here. Going after is let's get our pawns a rolling. See, when you have pawns like this, you want to start getting them rolling up the board. You do not want to. Yeah, he's gonna try to do a cheapo check on me here. I don't think so. Let's see. Yeah, good game there. Anyone want to play? Put out there. Come on. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. Does anybody want to play? Come on. Don't be afraid. We'll do like a 15-minute one, okay? So, and we'll even add 10 seconds on if you'd like. Come on, don't be afraid. I don't bite. Come on, just let's play. Let's so we can learn. And we'll go over it. Whoever wins, whoever, whatever. It's always about a learning experience. Why don't we do this? I'll do a couple tactics, and then when if anyone feels, because I'll stay on till about 12, and if nobody gets on around 12, I have to get some work done. But I'll stay a little longer if someone in the chat wants to play. But I can only stay on for like 7 minutes, so give in. Tell me when if anybody wants to play. Let's see. Hmm. Let's see. What about text there though? Oh, okay. Let's see if we can get a checkmate here. What? Hold on. Wouldn't this work too? That would lead to me as well, wouldn't it? But I think I see why, because if you played here, you can intercept there, and then there is no mate. Okay, gotcha. Oh, there. Too soon. I gotta remember to just calm down and do it right, because we've lost like 36 points, so we gotta calm down and do this right. Thinking here. Then when he moves. No, that doesn't work. That blocks off that. Let's see. That's a good move there. Trying to think. Is taking... Okay. Something doesn't ring right about... But we could, if we take here... I'll take there. I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna move. Okay. Just like sometimes, you know, you get it right, they don't even give you points for that. Let's see. Okay, we'll end on that. Okay, guys. Gotta log off. I appreciate that you logged on and watched. Hope you enjoyed the game that we played. How it went to an end game and how you can, even in a cramped situation, you can come out ahead. So remember, never forget, always fight the good fight. As Wesley So says, serve the Lord Jesus. As I say, God bless, guys, and I'll see you next time on Chess Cruncher TV. Bye bye. Have a great rest of the night, guys. See ya.